Hi, guys. It's Dr. Liz Jenkins with drlizcoaching.com. And I hope you are having a wonderful day today or evening. I wanted to talk about as couples and emerge into parenthood, or if you're in the midst of parenthood, that we prepare for the frustrations that we feel with our partners or our spouses because they will be inevitable. This is a learning curve that contains a very important precious bundle. And so that amps up the urgency most of us feel around getting it right, doing it right, meeting the child's needs, or in our state of exhaustion, meeting our needs immediately. No questions asked, just know how to do it, right? Or anticipate. So while that's lovely, it's probably not going to be realistic 100% of the time. There are going to be those life oopses and learning curves for everyone in this new parenthood. So I want to talk about that and help you guys ease over those inevitable frustration points, potential fights, disappointments, you know, meltdowns, and talk about some specific strategies to use in those. And I remember I have a story that my mom told me that the very first like week that I was home from the hospital, I don't know, probably like day had to be after probably a week into it. Okay, that's what she said. It's about a week in there, and she says, all of a sudden I hear the water running, and she says I come in, and she says your father he's on his knees in front of the bathtub, and he has your behind under the flow of water from the bathtub faucet, and he's washing you off after he's in the midst of changing your diaper. And she's like, what are you doing? And he says, well, the nurses, I watched the nurses very carefully. And when Liz would have a diaper change, they always put her under running water and then patted her dry. So that's what I'm doing. And my mom was like, what? The story goes is that she thought it was funny and she thought it was endearing. I hope that's what it was, and that she wasn't just frustrated because he didn't do it right. Because in her mind, they had these special baby washcloths and special soaps and stuff like that they were supposed to use on me. But so we're going to go with the fact that she thought that was cute and amusing that he was following instructions from watching the nurses because it meant he cared and he was invested in it. All right. So I share that with because not all of us and not all of our spouses or our partners are going to come preloaded with doing things the right way, which it tends to be our way, or even have some prior experience with it. And that's okay. So I always suggest to my couples that are expecting or that um, already have the child, but they're going to be like, oh, using a new, we used to call them umbrella strollers or a new running cycle or a car seat is that before you actually are in that rush or crush to get out the door, practice, go through it, open it up, figure out how it goes together so that you can avoid that extra time tension and stress that happens when even the best of couples. So you got some new equipment there, the breast pumps, the bottle steamers, the food prep, the strollers, all the cool play toy things, the diaper bag. Oh my goodness, the diaper bag. All right. Um, Plan ahead and start talking and walking through. This is what I think needs to go in there. These are the must have type of thing. I do remember a point in time when my husband was switched over to now more primary child care while he was a stay-at-home dad and a full-time student. And he said, I can't even figure out how to get her out the door clean. I mean, I get her all cleaned up, and then I go do the diaper bag, and then she's dirty again. How do you do it? And I said, well, we flip it. The diaper bag is done and packed and racked and stacked, probably almost everything done the night before. You put a few of the perishables into her in the morning, and then you get the kid clean and ready to go. And so when he flipped that with the instructions, he was out the door and on track. So it's okay. They're going to have learning curves. You're going to have learning curves. But what I want to avoid is these kind of tension moments where both of you are acutely worried or needing to do something for the child, and then you end up getting distracted from that because you're fighting with each other. And I'll give you an example. Really, really nice couple. The wife was extremely precise on what and how, and very, very probably, like a lot of us, overly concerned on doing things right. And the husband was dedicated, but kind of lacked some of the skills, and also he had his own style. What was his own definition of what was emergency or not? But the baby started having a fever. She said, "Quick, grab the thermometer." He grabbed the thermometer, and he was putting it apparently in the wrong spot and not holding it properly. And huge fight erupts over that. They've lost track on the fact that the baby's fever is rising, perhaps not, because we can't get a good read. And we're now in the battle of doing it right, hold it here, you're never prepared, and a few other choice words from him. And so there's hurt feelings, frustrations. She grabs it, fine, I'm in charge of the baby, you get out of here, kind of thing. Not good, not necessary. So we talked it through, and we looked at what was their worries that created to build on this urgency and erupted to the fight. You know, worried about the baby. His fever. Do we need to take him to the hospital? Is it time to call the doctor? Kind of thing from the wife. Does the baby need to have any kind of Tylenol? And the husband of, well, my wife is pretty dramatic all the time anyway. So I'm sure the baby's okay. Doesn't feel super hot to me, and a fever is not horrible, but the fever is still part of the package. So let's just get a good read on the fever, and then we can kind of watch the baby. So he was like more calmer, and so he should have with less urgency, and he lacked some thermometer temperature taking skills. And then the fight came on, and then the nasty stuff came out, and then they were divided, and she was solo parenting the kid by her choice. Um, During this little fever, and he was teething, and he was stewing in the other room. So we got him back on track. But I want you guys, fair fighting, don't attack, don't call them names, um, talk about your feelings. I'm feeling, frustrated, scared, worried, because those feelings are what's going to be driving what comes out of your mouth. Um, I need, I need for me just to step in and handle this right now. Can you, you know? So you ask for what you need. You talk about what you're feeling. We call a timeout. Hey, let's just table this. Let's just get through what we need to get through right now, and then we'll circle back around. And that's going to help you avoid some of the major fights and major issues. But no name calling, guys. No accusing. No grabbing stuff. No throwing stuff. No huffing. Call the timeout. Say, let's just focus on what we need to do. Baby's got a fever. Let's see what get through this, and then we'll deal with our stuff later. So I hope that's a bit of a help, and I hope you don't have many of those bumps in the road, but most couples do. And if you'd like to know more about fair fighting and really get ahead of this, or get in there and start interrupting your pattern, please drop a message below. I have a fantastic little fair for my top tips for fair fighting and some steps around that. It doesn't take long to learn them, and they are very, very effective in intervening or preventing an unfair, disruptive fight. So have a wonderful day. I will talk to you soon. I'm going to drop off and visit some of my clients.